फ्रेंड्स, कैसे हैं आप लोग? आई होप यू आर डूइंग वेल. वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल जहाजी फंडे. So this session is presented by me, Gaurav Srivastava. So first of all, I want to say sorry to you all that I wasn't posted any video these days because I was busy somewhere else. So sorry for that. And now this session is about rule number 10, that is traffic separation scheme. So guys, it's my request to please watch this video till end, and you will find a good stuff and you're learning stuff in this video, and you will have a better understanding after watching this video. So let's get started. Rule number 10, traffic separation scheme. So straightforward, I want to tell you again some key point to remember about rule number 10. So first thing is, this rule is the part of section 1 of part B, that is steering and sailing rules of ROR. Second, rule number 19 is applicable in rule number 10. This rule only applies to those hampered vessels whose obligations is given in this rule. For other hampered vessels like NUC, other RAM vessels, exclusion of part Kilo and Lima constrained by a draft vessel, rule number 18 will apply. Now, one question arises here, why we need traffic separation scheme. So there are certain reasons which clarify that we need traffic separation scheme, which is adopted by the organization called IMO. So TSS is governed by Ship's Routing Guide, which is an IMO publication. TSS eases the traffic flow. This is adopted by the organization in those coastal areas where the traffic flow is extreme and sea room is limited to prevent accidents. TSS limits everyone in a general direction of traffic flow, which I am going to discuss in a later video, whether inbound or outbound. This rule also tells responsibilities of local traffic against those following traffic separation scheme. It also tells responsibilities of those vessels who following traffic separation scheme against local traffic. So this rule gonna tells about the responsibility of both sides, of the local traffic as well as those vessels who is following the traffic separation scheme. So this is all about rule number 10. Now, rule number 10 alpha says this rule applies to traffic separation schemes adopted by the organization and does not relieve any vessel of her obligation under any other rule. So let us put a light on this topic, on this part. Now this is the explanation part of this video, of this alpha part. It means general rules. It means rule number 1 to rule number 3, all steering and sailing rules, that is rule number 4 to 19, and other ROR rules like light and shape, sound signals, when apply in TSS, will apply in TSS. There is exception for rule number 18, as it mentioned in rule number 18. As you can see in rule number 18, there is a line like except where rule 9, 10 and 13 otherwise require. So what does this line says? It means those whose obligations is given in rule number 10, like for fishing vessel, sailing vessel, ram vessel, only two type, that which is given in the Kilo and Lima part, and vessel less than 20 meter in length, rule number 10 will apply. And but for those vessels like NUC, CBD, other ram vessel which is not given in Kilo and Lima part, rule number 18 will apply. So this is the meaning of the line, except where rule 9, 10, 13 otherwise required. Now, Bravo part. A vessel using a traffic separation scheme shall first proceed in the appropriate traffic lane in the general direction of traffic flow for that lane. So what does this mean? Let us clear with the help of a diagram. So here you can see I draw two lanes and there is a traffic separation zone which divides the traffic separation scheme in two lanes, inbound and outbound. And as you can see, these arrows represent the general direction of traffic flow. Means most of the time you have to navigate in your starboard side lane, just like vessel transiting in this lane should go in this direction. So this arrow represents the general direction of traffic flow, which we were discussed earlier. So traffic separation zone is that separation zone or separation line which divides the traffic separation zone in two parts, inbound lane and outbound lane. Now second part says, so far as practicable, keep clear of a traffic separation line or separation zone. As you can see, a vessel navigating in a traffic separation scheme in a general direction of traffic flow, and a vessel which is trying to impede into the traffic separation zone. So the vessel which is navigating in a traffic separation scheme safely is not allowed to enter into the separation zone. So this is the wrong vessel. This is doing a wrong thing, but this vessel is navigating in a correct general direction of traffic flow in exact way. So third part says, normally join or leave a traffic separation lane, traffic lane at the termination of the lane, but when joining or leaving from either side shall do so at as small an angle to the general direction of traffic flow as practicable. Now as you can see in this diagram, again we have a traffic separation scheme which is divided by the traffic separation zone. Vessels navigating in the general direction of traffic flow. Now a vessel which is out of the traffic separation scheme is intending to join the traffic separation lane shall do so at as small an angle to the general direction of traffic flow. As you can see, that vessel which is navigating from here and trying to join that lane should make a small angle with the traffic separation scheme. In this way, the vessel is going to join the traffic separation scheme or the lane. Charlie. A vessel shall, so far as practicable, avoid crossing traffic lanes, but if obliged to do so, shall cross on a heading as nearly as practicable at right angles to the general direction of traffic flow. So what does it mean? It means we have a traffic separation scheme and a vessel is going to cross the traffic separation scheme, so it should do so at an angle of 90 degree. As you can see in this diagram, the vessel fore and aft line making 90 degree with a traffic separation lane or traffic lane. So this is how a vessel is going to cross the traffic separation scheme at 90 degree. Delta, first part says, a vessel shall not cross an inshore traffic zone when she can safely use the appropriate traffic lane within the adjacent traffic separation scheme. However, vessels of less than 20 meters in length, sailing vessels and vessels engaged in fishing may use the inshore traffic zone. So what does it mean? First of all, we will going to discuss about the inshore traffic zone. So what is it? Now again we have a traffic separation scheme, we have a general direction of traffic flow, and now we have inshore traffic zone. So basically inshore traffic zone is the area between the baseline, between the coastline and the traffic separation scheme. As we all know that the traffic separation scheme is present in the coastal area where the water is bounded by the land. So consider the edge of this laptop is a land and this is the traffic separation lane. So the area between the lane and the edge of the laptop, which is considered as the baseline, or you can say coastline of the coast. So this is the area is known as inshore traffic zone. So basically inshore traffic zone is for the local traffics like fishing vessels, sailing vessels, pleasure craft. So these local traffic uses the inshore traffic zone most of the time. Second part says, notwithstanding subparagraph D1, a vessel may use an inshore traffic zone when en route to or from a port, offshore installation or structure, pilot station or any other place situated within the inshore traffic zone or to avoid immediate danger. So what does it mean? It says a vessel may use an inshore traffic zone but under certain conditions. Either the vessel is going to berth, the vessel is going to approach the offshore platforms, or there is a pilot station located into the inshore traffic zone, or most important, to avoid immediate danger. So in these circumstances, a vessel may use an inshore traffic zone. Echo. A vessel other than a crossing vessel or a vessel joining or leaving a lane shall not normally enter a separation zone or cross a separation line except in case of emergency to avoid immediate danger. So what does it mean? First of all, we will understand about what is immediate danger. Immediate danger means your next step falls you in danger. Don't forget to inform master in this situation. Immediate danger and emergency situations include following situations in TSS, like a ground vessel ahead of you, shallow patch ahead of you, Anyhow, in TSS, head-on situation develops. MOB in TSS on port side of your vessel. What I am considering here, port side of your vessel, because if MOB is there on your port side, you are going to alter your course to port side, because you are going to hard over to port side and enter into your separation zone. So this is how you enter into separation zone for to avoid immediate danger. So these are the following situations which is considered as an immediate danger and emergency situations in TSS. Now, to engage in fishing within a traffic separation zone. So what does it means? A vessel which is engaged in fishing, as we all know, there is an appropriate definition which describe what is a fishing vessel in rule number 3, just general definition. So first of all, we will put a light on what is rule number 3 says about the definition of the fishing vessel. So as per rule number 3 delta, a vessel engaged in fishing means any vessel fishing with nets, lines, trawls or other fishing apparatus which restricts maneuverability. You understand that? A vessel which is engaged in fishing should have their maneuverability restricted because of the gears, because of the thing they are expanding to do fishing. So this is the definition given by rule number 3, general definition of ROR. Foxtrot says a vessel navigating in areas near the termination of traffic separation scheme shall do so with particular caution. So what does it mean? As we all know, at the termination of a traffic separation scheme, there are lots of vessels which is going to join or leave the lane. So we have to navigate with particular caution by considering the fact that there are too much traffic near the termination of traffic separation scheme, and there may be chances of collision, elision, or maybe something else, or maybe grounding because lots of navigation hazards are present in the traffic separation scheme at the termination of traffic separation scheme. So this is how we have to navigate with particular caution. Golf. A vessel shall, so far as practicable, avoid anchoring in a traffic separation scheme or in areas near its termination. This rule clearly prohibits that you are not allowed to do anchor at the termination or while navigating into the traffic lane. So avoid anchoring in a traffic separation scheme is given by this rule. Hotel. A vessel not using a traffic separation scheme shall avoid it by wide a margin as is practicable. Here, you know, we have a traffic separation scheme and the vessel is navigating in the general direction of traffic flow. So I represent you here two vessels which is navigating outside the traffic separation scheme. The vessel which is navigating near the traffic lane is not okay, is not good, because there may be a chances that a vessel is going to leave the lane or join the lane or something else. There may be a chance of close quarter situation or maybe collision. So when you are not navigating into a traffic separation, when you are not going to use the traffic separation scheme, you should avoid it as wide a margin as is practicable. Means you have to navigate away from the traffic separation scheme when you are not using it. India. A vessel engaged in fishing shall not impede the safe passage of any vessel following a lane. First of all, I want to know you what is impede means. Impede means not to block, okay, not to obstruct. So this is explained earlier in my earlier videos of ROR situations, of rule number 8, Foxtrot part definitions. So this is all covered by me earlier in my earlier videos. So you can go and check it out. So what does impede means? Okay, so a vessel engaged in fishing shall not impede the passage of any vessel following a traffic lane. So here I have a situation in which my own vessel is navigating into a traffic separation scheme following a traffic lane, and a fishing vessel is going to cross my passage from the starboard side, from the starboard bow. Now this rule says, as per rule number 10 India and 8F1, the application of 8 Foxtrot is already described, is already explained by me. So you can go and check it out. Fishing vessel have to keep clear from my own vessel. Now take successive compass bearing, determine ROC. If yes, take action as per rule number 8F3. Okay, 8F3, then reduce speed or take all the way off as per 8 Echo and let the target vessel pass ahead of you. Now again I have a same situation, but in this situation the fishing vessel is going to cross me from the port side. Then as per rule 10 India and 8F1, fishing vessel have to keep clear from own vessel, take successive compass bearing, determine ROC, if yes, inform master, take action as per rule number 8F3, reduce speed or take all or way off as per 8 echo, and let the target vessel pass ahead of me. So this is the explanation part when you are going to tackle this situation in TSS. Now Juliet. A vessel of less than 20 meters in length or a sailing vessel shall not impede the safe passage of a power-driven vessel following a traffic lane. Again, we have a situation in which a sailing vessel or vessel less than 20 meters in length is going to cross me from the starboard side. Now, what is my action? As per rule 10 Juliet and 8F1, sailing vessel or vessel less than 20 meters in length have to keep clear from A. Then take successive compass bearing, determine ROC, if yes, take action as per rule 8F3, reduce speed or TAVO as per 8 echo, and let the target vessel pass ahead of you. So this is the series of action we are going to take in this situation. Now again a sailing vessel or less than 20 meters in length is going to cross me from the port side. Now again we have the same action as per rule 10 Juliet and 8F1, sailing vessel or vessel less than 20 meters in length have to keep clear from A. Take successive compass bearing, A is own vessel, right? Take successive compass bearing, determine ROC, if yes, take action as per 8F3, reduce speed or TAVO as per 8 echo, and let the target vessel pass ahead of you. Now we are going to move at the end of this part, Kilo and Lima, which describes the restricted ability to maneuver, that is ram vessel, but they are engaged in only two type of activities in the traffic separation scheme. As we all know, which is given by rule number 3, general definition, we have 6 types of ram, but here only 2 types of rams are described. So first of all, I want to tell you about what is kilo. A vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver, ram vessel, when engaged in operation for the maintenance of safety of navigation in a traffic separation scheme, is exempted from complying with these rules to the extent necessary to carry out the operation. And Lima, a vessel restricted in her ability to maneuver when engaged in an operation for laying, servicing or picking up a submarine cable within a traffic separation scheme, is exempted from complying with this rule to the extent necessary to carry out the operation. So we have the explanation of this part also with the help of the situation. Now again, as we all know, the ram vessel mentioned in rule number 10, Kilo and Lima, is going to cross me from the starboard side, from the starboard bow. Now we have series of action as per rule 10, Kilo and Lima, own vessel have to keep clear from ram, take successive compass bearing, determine ROC, if yes, take action as per rule 8 echo, reduce speed or TAVO, and let the target vessel pass ahead of you. So this is the series of action you are going to take in the situation for those ram vessels which is given in rule number 10, Kilo and Lima, not for other ram vessels, because for other ram vessels we already discussed earlier that for other ram vessels we are going to use rule number 18. Okay. So guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you found your stuff in this video and you will learn a good amount of things from this video. So it's my humble request to please subscribe my channel, like, share, comment and support my video because it's required too much. And okay, share with your friends. And at the last, I want to say, please take care of yourself in this pandemic situation. So thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, I want to tell you, please subscribe my channel for your support, like, share and comment on my video. Thank you so much. Bye. Have a nice day.